Call today, 861-7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today, 861-7484.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. Our last guests and our next guests have something in common. They all three live in Florida.
Yes.
They all three travel all over the world.
Yep.
And they all three have never been to our studio.
Yeah. We're working on that.
David Foreman is on the phone. He has a radio show of his own. He is the Herbal Pharmacist, and he checks in with us now and then to give us some information. Today, he's going to talk to us about protecting ourselves during the flu season. I trust that this will be in a natural way, in an herbal, a holistic, whatever you call it, way. And then I have a little story I want to tell him as well. Good morning, David. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks, guys, for having me back on with you. It's always a pleasure.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Palm Harbor, actually, just south of you.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes you're out in L.A. You're all over the place, right?
Yeah, the month of January, I flew 18,000 miles.
Wow.
You didn't come to Ocala.
No, it's funny because Amy, who takes care of booking this stuff, I emailed her last week and I said, hey, you know what? I said, I'm always talking to Larry and Robin about going to Ocala. I said, it looks like I've got a hole in my calendar. I'm like, can you reach out to them and see if I can come up? And then she's like, there aren't any holes in your calendar. I just haven't sent you the updates.
Wow.
Well, that's good, I guess. That's good.
Oh, she's a good person.
But this time I was like, oh man, I can actually, the way my calendar looked then was like, oh yeah, I can drive up and and then I found out I couldn't.
Okay, so I want to tell you a little story, and this actually has to do with influence of you on me. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's a good thing.
But listen to this. Listen to it. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you something from years ago. I had a piece of skin cancer on my nose. It looked like a wart. Mm-hmm. The doctor took it off, and then I had this little mark on the side of my face that looked like I had been kissed by a woman with lipstick on.
Yes.
And so I said to him, "What is that, by the way?" He said, "Oh, that looks like rosacea." So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I could live with that." Well, now fast forward to like a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. My face looked like I was a teenager again. I had the worst skin. It was like all red. It looked like it wasn't pimples, but it had like the red circles. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the heck is going on with me? So I went online. I was thinking, what could this be? And long story short, I went back to my memory to the guy telling me it was a rosacea thing. I said, well, maybe it's spread. Maybe it's worse. And sure enough, everything I found online was agreeing with that. Then I went for cures and remedies, and I thought about you because a lot of them were like medicines and things you could buy for $160. And I thought about you just talking about fruits and vegetables and things like that.
Yeah.
So then I said holistic. I think I put the word holistic in my search. Holistic cures for rosacea. One of the people said it has to do with your kidneys. Only one of all the people, right? Now, I'm going to ask you if you agree with this. I'm not saying I know. I'm just telling you this is what it said. So then it said, if you're eating something that might be causing your kidneys, try changing it. And I was thinking, well, I'm a coffeeholic. Let me stop the coffee and see if it changes anything.
Oh, yeah.
So I went from coffee to green tea. My face right now, how's it look, Robin?
It looks perfect.
Looks perfect.
It does. It looks perfect.
So anybody who's going through...
I love it.
So give me your feedback on everything I just said. Do you think I was causing my kidneys to work extra hard with all the coffee?
Normally, for me, I don't link kidneys to rosacea.
No,
to be
okay.
honest with you. Yeah, okay. But I can tell you though, I would definitely link caffeine, not necessarily coffee, but higher doses of caffeine. One of the things that I always look at is how people's digestive systems are when it comes to rosacea, and there's actually an ingredient you can find in digestive enzymes. For people that aren't familiar with digestive enzymes, your body normally produces these things, but for whatever reason, sometimes we don't produce enough, and so a lot of times I'll just have people use something called betaine, betaine, betaine HCl for hydrochloride, and that'll usually do a lot. The other thing, Larry, is sometimes we're allergic or hypersensitive to something. So, but I got to tell you, the green tea is phenomenal for your skin, and so it could have even just been that, to be honest with you. And there are certain foods that are triggers, like spicy foods, alcohol. Those usually will make it worse. And then, but yeah, anyway, it's kind of cool because I drink a lot of green tea. Matter of fact, I just finished drinking green tea, and I swear one of the reasons that a lot of people when they meet me, they'll find, somehow my age will come up or whatever, and they're like, wow, you only look 40 and you're 50. And I swear it's because I drink a lot of green tea and I take omega-3s every day. It's kind of funny.
Oh, really?
I know you look great, by the way. You really do.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. The picture you guys get is 15 years old. If you want a more current, you want a no, seriously, and I'm embarrassed about that whole thing. But I just had my website redone and we relaunched it about a week ago. If you want to see what I really look like,
what is your website?
It's herbalpharmacist.com, Herbal pharmacist, like the person at the drugstore.com. That is what I look like. As a matter of fact, we even linked Instagram, my Herbal Pharmacist Instagram, which I just started. And
you went gray since the last picture. I'm looking at you now.
I know.
He's dashing. He's dashing. He doesn't look old. He's dashing.
No, you look the same. You just got gray. You just got gray hair now.
Yeah, it's funny. My
Grecian formula.
No, my female friends, they say I look better now with my salt and pepper.
Well, listen to them.
Look dashing.
Listen to them.
I'm always listening to them. Trust me.
Those two women with you are pretty nice looking too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're TV anchors, and one thing you do is you never fish in your own pond. So
Yeah.
I always fish in my own pond. I don't have enough time to go in the other ponds.
Oh my God! All right.
Oh, you're way better looking than this other guy. There's another guy in this picture. Oh, yeah, you're way better than him. Yeah. I don't know who he is.
I'm changing the subject to flu, man. We got to get off of this.
Oh yeah. The flu. You're in a Bud Light. Are you in a Bud Light commercial? What is that?
No, I was at Super Bowl.
Oh, you were at the Super Bowl? Oh, yeah, wow.
I did segments on.
Well, who's she? Who's that woman?
She was she was a news anchor for NBC in Phoenix.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, she was.
Look at that, Robin. Who wants to look at that food?
Oh, I know. It's kind of
David's
funny.
got the town.
So I have a question for you about this picture. Then we'll get to the flu. How come you're in a studio and she's in the studio, but you're wearing that headset with the big microphone? Is it because it's a sport event? Is that a requirement when you're doing a sporting show?
We were actually outside at one of the what I would call the media headquarters. So it was there was a band you couldn't see behind us that was warming up for one of the Super Bowl concerts, and so we had to have those on because we wouldn't have been able to hear each other. And that's it's the first time I ever had to do the headset gig like that, and it was kind of a neat experience to be able to be, get credentialed to stuff at I didn't get to go to the game, of course, but it was fun. So
that's cool.
Anyway.
All right, so tell us what we do for the flu.
All right, real quick. I know. We spent 8 of my 10 minutes having fun and diagnosing Larry's rosacea.
Right.
So all right. So I'm going to boil this down into two areas. I'm going to cut from what I normally do, and I'm going to say, all right. So if you haven't gotten the flu yet, and you don't want to, we know the flu shot's really not cutting it this year. There's 3 things that I do religiously so that I don't get sick. And then for those people that maybe it's too late, and you didn't take my advice, or you already are sick right now, I've got a few things I can recommend to help you get better quicker. So my preventative things are to make sure I drink plenty of water every day. I make sure I take probiotics every day. I use something called InSync, INSYNC. There's a reason why behind that. I can get to that in a minute. And I also use an immune support ingredient called AHCC, and that supports your immune system. So those 3 things, and then of course getting plenty of rest, avoiding sugar is another big tip I have for not getting sick. But again, AHCC, InSync, and just staying well hydrated go a long way at preventing getting sick. And then if you already are sick, or there's a family member that's hacking and wheezing and sneezing, whether it's cold or flu, I don't really care. I recommend taking zinc lozenges. You suck on them. You don't swallow them. It's something that you really need to have
Oh, I believe in them. Yeah, I use them all the time.
They're amazing. Echinacea works great once you have a cold or flu. If you never use it as a preventative. So echinacea, and then higher doses of vitamin C. There's a lot of good research on zinc, vitamin C, and echinacea to kind of fire up your immune system. But you don't want to do those things for day after day after day after day, week after week. Those are for really when you do come down with it, and the previous suggestions are more of the preventative. So how did I do? I did that pretty quick.
You did really good. Now, can we go to herbalpharmacist.com and see that written in some form?
I think it should be there. If it's not, people can email me and I'll get them the information right away. I have a blog there. You can connect to Facebook, Twitter, the whole deal, and they can email me their questions directly as well. I always like to help. You guys have such a great listening. I hate to call people audiences. They're like family when you do radio as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you have your family email me. I'll help them out. How's that?
I'm my family.
I love that.
Now, you don't want to say that too much because as family members, they're not allowed to enter the contests, and they definitely want to enter these contests. David, thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for being on the air with us and for being in the back of my mind when I was wondering what to do.
Yes.
Awesome. You guys, I love being on with you, and you guys have an awesome rest of the week, okay?
All right, now here's two requests. When you come to Ocala, visit us in the studio. That's request number 1. Okay. And request number 2, bring that chick with the wings.
I think her husband might have something to say about that.
Well, I just want the wings. Okay.
Well, dude, I'll bring you some wings.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Take care, you guys.
Thank you, David. You take care. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine mixing with clouds today, high 72 to 76. Increasing clouds and mild tonight, low 56 to 60. Tomorrow, clouds and breaks of sun, breezy and warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, especially during the afternoon hours at the coast, the highs in the 70s. And for Wednesday, more sun than clouds, but breezy and noticeably cooler, the high just 57 to 61. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters generally meet once a month after business hours. For the information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events@ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate. Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family and our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account, plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account opened. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
WWWOCA,
Remember to join the Voice of Ocala every second and fourth Friday for Ask the Cop Show live from Gateway Bank during Community Gazette Day. Brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA, lawyer.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Where did you sit when the dust settled?
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall.
Where did you sit when the tempers flared?
And now it appears we may have a fist fight. Drivers and helmets.
Or when standing ovation took on a whole new meaning?
All the pit crews out on pit lane to salute Dale Earnhardt, who is...
Well, from where we sit, this Daytona 500 is the chance of a lifetime. Because this is your final opportunity to experience the great American race from some of the classic seats that have witnessed some of the most famous moments in racing history. And it's your first chance to say hello to the future in all new grandstands where fans will bear witness to all the legendary moments yet to come. So where will you sit this February 22nd? Don't miss your one and only chance to experience Daytona at a unique moment in history. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 22nd. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
A show of contempt would be to say, what kind of an idiot can't even cook a simple dinner? That single behavior is so powerful it can be used to predict divorce with 93% accuracy. Here's another way to get back to sleep, and Connie uses this. Listen to white noise. You can try an app like Sleep Maker Rain, which is free for iPhone and Android. The new normal is to get a last-minute text at, say, 9 o'clock on a Saturday saying, hey, want to go see a band?
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 22 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know how much you know about Common Core standards in our education, and I'm not even going to begin to pretend I know. We've heard from guests who were not in support of it. We've heard from guests who are in support of it. One of our former governors who we got to know a little bit when he was governor, Jeb Bush, and now he's thinking about being a president. Whether you like him or not, he was I think he was for the Common Core standard. So a guy we respected was for it, and a lot of people we respect had some issues with it. And one of the math questions I looked at looked wild and crazy, but I don't really know. I mean, I do a radio show, so we need help from other people who've looked at it closer than we have. Bob Lenz is one of those people. He's on the phone. He's the co-founder and chief of innovation for Envision Education, and he's written a book called Transforming Schools Using Project-Based Learning, Performance Assessment, and Common Core Standards. It sounds like he might be in favor of that Common Core thing. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from California.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for getting up early to talk to us about this. What do you understand? I mean, Common Core must be something you're in agreement with, am I right?
Yes. The Common Core standards, definitely in agreement. I think the debate's been a little confused by the assessing those Common Core standards as well as the accountability behind it.
Okay. The one, I don't want to get stuck on this because we only have a few minutes, but the one example I saw in math looked totally different than the way I understood math, and it seemed like it was harder than the way I learned math.
Maybe challenging, but maybe more challenging than the way you learn math, as opposed to harder, because if it's in the right context, then students are figuring out how they actually apply the math they're interested in it, and they're communicating that.
Okay.
So it's different, but not necessarily harder. It's just how you approach it. I mean, we are asking kids now here in the 21st century, just knowing a bunch of math facts isn't going to be enough. You're actually going to have to apply that knowledge in real context.
Okay, so I understand that the human being, we're resistant to change, and I understand that parents who hear about something different, they're always leery about that. So this must be your challenge. I mean, your challenge must be because somebody who's a reasonable person and hears about a change will listen to the explanation and then have their mind changed. Has that happened for you? Have you had people who've listened to the proposals that or at least read the book, Transforming Schools, and then had their mind changed about things?
I have, and I think people are. I think we're in agreement that our schools aren't the schools that are going to serve all the kids, and that regardless of your background, if it's not our own kids, we know people who've had kids who struggle in school. So I think we're in pretty much agreement that schools need to change. How they need to change is where it gets tricky. And so we've seen people move towards our point of view because of a couple reasons. One, they see the work that kids produce. The student work that comes out of project-based learning is quite impressive. It has an audience beyond the classroom. The other is they look at results and evidence, and so you see the schools that envision schools where students who aren't likely to go to college are going to college well beyond the national rate, and most importantly, they're graduating from college. And so both being able to see what's possible, but then actually having the results, people want to find out how to do that.
Is Common Core being used in places like China? Because the U.S. is always compared to the Chinese people.
The Chinese, I don't know what their standards are. I do know that what's different in a lot of countries from the United States is they do have national standards. What's fascinating in China is that for decades, they were all about the standardized tests, just like we are. But now they're moving quite rapidly to project-based learning. A colleague of mine did a project-based learning workshop for 4,000 people this past summer. Multiple workshops around the country. A lot of Asian countries come over to the United States and they learn about our innovations, like project-based learning, and they come back and they make it a national policy. So really right now, not only are we think we're behind on standardized tests, but really where we're probably behind is getting our kids doing more project and problem-based learning.
So do we have, it sounds like you have some students that you can point to who were using Common Core and who were using some of the other newer methods of teaching, and they've done well. Is that a fair statement?
Oh, very fair. We tell the story in our book about Caleb Lawson, and Caleb was a student that had a challenging background, and he was transferred to one of our schools from getting C's and D's in a traditional school. And he went on at an Envision school to have 5 college acceptances. He still needed to pass his portfolio and his defense, which he wasn't able to do his first time through. But he persisted and got support, and he did. He went on to graduate from a college in 2011, and now is a vice president at a local bank in Oakland.
Wow.
And his life completely transformed by this approach.
Oh wow!
And now he gets back and works and helps support us with our school.
Well, if you're a teacher or a principal and you've been reluctant to look at this, maybe this book will help you look at it a little differently. I don't have any conclusions, but I'm not a teacher or a principal, obviously. Bob, thank you for spreading the word about what you're doing. But how do we get the book and how do we find out more? Do you have a website?
We do. You can go to our Envision website, which is www.envisionschools.org. At the top, you can learn more about Envision, and then at the top, there's a link to the book. It comes with a DVD or a website if you don't have a DVD drive. There's 21 videos where you can actually see this work in action. So sometimes it's not enough just to read it. You can actually hear the students and the teachers for yourself.
All right. Well, it's an important issue, especially if we're going to support Jeb Bush. Bob Lenz, thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. It's not just the Northeast and Midwest. A big storm bringing a wintry dose of snow, sleet, and ice to much of the South. In Tennessee, which could get up to 9 inches of snow, Shelby County's Dale Lane says.
Our roads department did a great job getting it out and preparing, but right now they're extremely dangerous.
Advisories also up for Georgia, Kentucky, Alabama, and Mississippi, among other states. A ceasefire in Ukraine that started Sunday is seen as shaky at best.
Probably the biggest problem is the important transport hub of Debaltseve. 8,000 Ukrainian troops, 5,000 civilians inside. They are surrounded by Russian-backed rebels, plus tanks, rockets, and artillery, which have been pounding the place even stronger than before the ceasefire.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Kiev. U.S. and coalition forces have conducted 2 airstrikes against ISIS in Syria and 13 in Iraq, all within the last 24 hours. Fox News. We report, you decide.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
When you sit in your comfortable ergonomic chair, do you experience inner peace? Are you known for admiring desks like profound works of art? If so, you might be gear-centric, someone who knows that the right office gear helps you do great things. And at Office Depot and Office Max, we have the quality gear you need. Visit our President's Day furniture sale and